You're in DC. The markets had been in turmoil for days, as Carrington just mentioned. How much pressure was the Trump administration under to change course? And were you at all surprised by this pause?
I'm not surprised there's been a pause because I think the administration may have underestimated the market reaction and the extent of the sell-off that occurred in the markets in the last few days. Something had to be done to staunch that. This provides a breathing space. It encourages other countries to come forward. Already a number of countries are in Washington seeking to negotiate deals with the administration. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, something had to be done. It was the right move given the circumstances. Let's wait and see what deals are negotiated. The administration can't afford too many deals because that will undermine the protective effect of what they're seeking to do. And as Carrington mentioned in his story, the major overarching factor in all this is the standoff now, the Mexican standoff between the US and China.
Yeah, we'll get more on that in a second. I just wanted to ask, for Australia, obviously we know that the government has been talking to the administration. Do you think that the next step is going to be maybe a carve-out or some exemptions for countries maybe like Australia, maybe the UK even?
Well, what some countries that are coming to Washington are saying is they're putting on the table a whole list of concessions in various areas that they think might be of interest to the administration. India is negotiating a whole separate trade agreement, and that started a bit before the tariffs were put in. Vietnam is here wanting to offer a whole series of concessions on the table. What Australia can offer is fairly limited in many ways because we already have a free trade agreement with the US. We don't levy tariffs on 97% of the products between Australia and the US. We can talk about critical minerals and maybe areas where we can do more together, but the pharmaceutical benefit scheme, our biosecurity and other areas, it'd be pretty big policy changes if they were put on the table, and I don't think the government or the opposition are minded to do that in this context.
One of your former colleagues, the former Trade Minister Andrew Robb, wrote a piece this week saying that Australia should effectively just ignore these tariffs and the Trump administration for the moment, saying that the president can't really be negotiated with. You're well connected in DC. What do you think the Australian negotiators should be doing? Should they just wait and see what happens, see whether there's another change of course by the administration?
I think wait and see, at least for now, is the right strategy. And then once the election in Australia is out of the way, if it's Albanese re-elected or it's Dutton elected as Prime Minister, the leader of Australia has to come to Washington, eyeball the president and try and work this out leader to leader. That's the only way you make real breakthroughs with Donald Trump.
Just finally, Arthur, I know you're out of politics now, but you had a long career in it, working for John Howard and then, of course, as a member of the Liberal Party and a cabinet minister as well. What does all this uncertainty do to the Australian election campaign? Does it shape it? Does it change the outcome, do you think?
Donald Trump hangs over the Australian election like the weather. Everyone's talking about it. They don't know what to do about it. On one hand, there'll be those who'll say, well, this is about who is the stronger leader who can stand up to Donald Trump and prosecute Australia's interest versus which side of politics in Australia has policies that are potentially mimicking Trump policies, and that causes people to react against those policies. So and you can see what the Labor Party is seeking to do by talking about Americanisation of the health system. They're trying to send a coded message that Trump-like policies are not good for Australia, and that could work. On the other hand, if leadership is upmost in people's mind, they'll weigh up who is the stronger leader, Albo or Dutton, to deal with Donald Trump.
All right, Arthur Sinodinos, we do appreciate your time from Washington, DC this morning.
Great, thanks.